Hi everyone, so the next part which I'll be covering is about formulas and functions in Excel. So data analysts rely heavily on this formulas and functions in Excel for several key reasons such as data cleaning using trim function, data transformation using text functions, data analysis using lookup and statistical functions, data visualization using conditional formatting and aggregation functions, and so on. So I'll try to cover some important categories of functions in this tutorial. So now let's move on to the practical part. The first category is about basic arithmetic operations, which includes arithmetic operations such as add, subtract, multiply, divide, and so on. So for example, firstly, I'll try to perform add operations. So for that sake, if I want to add all the values of id 1, then what I'll do is like I'll have equal to sign, then I'll click on this particular cell which I want to add, then again I'll hit plus sign, then the next value again plus sign, again the next value, and I'll hit OK. So it will give me the result of all the addition of all the three values. So for example, like if you want to add more values over here, you can simply click on that particular cells and plus sign, and you will get the result. The next thing is about the subtract. For that sake, what I'll do is like equal to sign, then the value which from which I want to subtract, then subtract operator and the next value, and click and hit enter. It will give the value. It will give me the result of subtract operation. The next operator is multiply. So for that sake, I'll have equal to sign, then the value which I want to multiply, then I'll have asterisk symbol, and again the next value, again the asterisk symbol, and again the next value. So it's up to you like how many values you want to multiply with. So right now I want to multiply only three values, so I'll just click on those only three cells, and then if I'll hit enter, then it will give me the result of that multiplication. So the next operator is about divide. So I'll have equal to sign, then the value, and I'll again have divide operator, and again the next value with which number I want to divide the first number, and then I'll hit enter, and it will give me the result of divide operation. So the next category will be about the statistical functions, which will include functions such as mean, max, sum, sumif, average, averagea, averageif, count, count_a, and countif. The main function returns the smallest value in the range. However, the max function returns the largest value in the range. So suppose, for example, if I want to check the minimum or maximum value out of this column 1, then what I'll do is like I'll have equal to sign, then I'll type mean function. So whenever you will type the mean function or any function, then Excel will automatically give you suggestions for that. So suppose for example here it is giving suggestions for mean function or related to mean function, so I'll just simply select the function which I want to have. So here I'll select a mean function, and over here it will give suggestions also to have to check. Suppose for example here it's showing like for the mean function you can have number 1, 2, and so on. So for that sake, what I'll do is like after this mean function open and then open bracket, I'll select that particular range from which I want to have minimum function, and then I'll close that bracket. And once I'll hit enter button, it will automatically give me the minimum value of that particular column. So the next one is max function. So similarly, what I'll do is like I'll have equal to sign, then I'll type max function, then I'll select that respective function, and then I'll input that particular range out of which I want to have max value, and then I'll simply close the round bracket and I'll hit enter. So once I'll hit enter button, it will give me the maximum value out of that column. The next functions are sum and sumif. Sum, it will add all the numbers in the range, and sumif, it will add the values in the range that meet a specific condition. Suppose for example, I'll first check sum function. So equal to sign sum, then select the respective function which you want, and then I'll select the range, then close parenthesis, and then equal to sign. So it will give me sum of all the values which are present in second column. Then I'll check sum if function. So once I'll hit sum if function, so it is suggesting me like what I need to enter over here. So what is it saying? It's like sum if function, then the range, then the criteria, and then what you exactly want to sum, that sum range. So suppose for example, if I'll have first, I'll select the range of first name. Once I'll select that, then comma, then I need to enter the criteria or the particular condition. So suppose for example, what I need to do is like, suppose for example, the first name is Roxy, then only I want to add that respective values from the column 2. Then what I'll do is like double inverted comma, then I'll input the value which is first name, which is Roxy, then again comma, and then I'll have the range from which I want to have that sum, and then I'll have the second range, then the close parenthesis, and then it will give me the addition of all those values of which first name starts with Roxy. So for example, we will check it, we will cross verify it. Suppose for example, equal to sign, then we have Roxy value over here in the ninth column, then I'll just have that column 2 value, then plus sign, then again I have Roxy, then that particular value, plus sign, again I have third value, then again I'll have that particular value from second column and equal to sign. So it is giving me the same value which we got from the Sumif function. The next functions are average, average A, and Averageif. So first let's check for average and average A. So what will average do? It will calculate the mean of all the numbers in that column. However, average A, this function will calculate the mean of all the values in that respective column. So suppose for example, what is over here? It's over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 as the values, sorry, as the numbers, and we have 5 as a string, but that will get counted as a values. So for example, like as I mentioned earlier, for the average it will calculate the mean of all the numbers, and it will not include the value which is string, which is 5 over here. So what it will exactly do, suppose we will check average function, we will give input as that particular range, then hit enter, it will give us the result as 3.2. So what it has basically done over here, it is giving average as 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6. It will not include 5 which is string, and after 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 it will divide it by 5. So that result we will get it by average function. So the next function is average A. So in average A we will give that particular range as an input, and once you will hit enter, it will give us the different result. So what is it exactly doing here? So it is taking only values, but it will divide by that count where it will include that string also. So for example, here it will take it as 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6, but it will, instead of 5, it will divide by 6. So over here we got the result as 2.6.6.6 and so on. So average A, it has this function basically calculates the mean of all the values in the column, which includes string also in that particular section. So the next is Averageif. So what exactly Averageif does? Averageif allows you to average the data in the one range of the cells where the data in the another range matches the certain criteria. So I want, for example, if I want to have the average of all the values from the column 4 where or where like first name is suppose Willie. So what I'll do is like, firstly I'll select the range, and after that range I'll have comma, and then I'll give that particular criteria of the first range. So suppose for example over here, suppose I want to have the average of first name Willie, then I'll give first name as Willie, then again comma, and then I'll give the range from which I want to have the average for the name Willie, and then I'll have close parenthesis, hit enter, and then it will give me the result as 4. So suppose for example over here Willie has a value 2 plus 5, but 5 is a string, so it will not get calculated. And again it has Willie has value 6. So what it will do is like 6 plus 2 divide by 2. So it will give me the output as 4 over here. The next functions are count, count A, and countif. So count function, it will count the number of all numeric values in that particular range. However, count A, it will count the number of non-empty cells in that range. So suppose for example, I'll check it over here, the count function. I'll have count, then I'll select the range, but deliberately I'll select empty cells also over here. So I'll select the range from D2 to, suppose for example, D24, and then the close parenthesis, enter. So now it is giving me the count as 20 because we have filled cells, non-empty cells, that count is 20 over here. So the next one is count A. So what happens in Counta is I'll have this function count10, and again I'll select the same range which I have given to count, that was from D2 to D24, and then I'll hit enter. So now also it is giving me 20 as the count value because we have non-empty cells as 20 over here. But suppose for example if I'll add string over here, any string in the empty cell, then what happens here is like count function, it is still giving me 20 as the output because it is calculating only values over here. But for count A function, it is calculating string also because it is giving it as a non-empty field here, and it is showing us the result as 21. So suppose for example again if I'll add any string over here, then the count A function, that value is getting changed. And suppose if I'll add any number over here, then in this case what is happening, like count, it is giving it as 21 because we have numbers in 21 cells, and for count A it is giving us 23 as a result because we have 23 non-empty cells which calculates strings also over here. So the next function is Countif function. So Countif function, what it does actually is like it counts the number of cells in the range that meets the specific condition. So suppose for example over here if I'll have Countif function, I'll select this function, then I'll give range, and then I'll have to enter the criteria for the same. So what will I'll do is like I'll again give the same range D2 to D24, and then again I'll have that particular criteria, or the condition which I want. So suppose for example if I'm giving this criteria as, suppose for example if that entry or if that value is greater than 8,000, then only count that column, count that cell, particular cell, and then give me the result. So I'll add that particular criteria in double inverted commas, and then I'll close the parenthesis, and then I'll hit the enter. So what is it showing is like we have 6 cells over here where the count or the value is greater than 8,000. The next category which I'll be covering is about the text functions. So text functions, it mainly includes functions and which are important for us right now. Those are concatenate, left, right, mid, length, upper, lower, and proper. So concatenate, what it will do is like it will join the several text strings into one. So for example over here, suppose I want to have first name and last name in one cell. So what I'll do is I'll have equal to sign, then I'll type concatenate function. So over here we got concat as a function. I'll select that, then I'll select whatever text I want to join. So I'll have first name here, comma, the last name, and then I'll close the parenthesis and enter. So what is happening over here is it is concatenating both the strings here, but it those are like we don't have any space in the middle. So what I can do is like I can modify this formula, and what I'll do, I'll add empty parenthesis here, and then again comma, and then enter. So what I need to do is like again add space in the middle of these double inverted commas, and then enter. Now it is giving me the proper result. So what I can do is like I can have that function, I can apply that function for only one cell, and then what I can do is like just double click on this, double click, or what you can do is like you can just drag down this cell, and what will happen is like it will give me the results for the respective, or for the for another IDs also, and it will add up all those first names and last names, and it will give me the results as the same. So this is the function of concatenate. So the next function is left. What left does is like it returns the first characters in the string. Like how many characters do you want? It will return those particular strings. So what I'll do is like I'll have equal to, then left. I'll select this function and then I'll have, suppose for the first name I want to check the first three characters of each first name. Then I'll select that particular first name, comma, I'll enter 3 because I want three characters of that first name. Then close it, equal to. So now it is giving me three characters of that name. So I can just drag it down and I'll get all for all the first names, those all the three first characters. So the next one is about the write. So what write will do is like it will return the last characters in the strings. So if you want, like it's up to you how many characters you want. You just need to enter that number over here. So I'll have write function here. Then for example, for the first name, I'll select that particular cell, comma, and suppose I want only last two characters of that particular cell, then close it, equal to. So now it is giving me last two characters by using write function. So if you want it for complete data sheet, or over here suppose if I want it for all the 20 entries, then I'll just drag it down and I'll get the results for the same. So similarly like left and right, mid function, it will also return the specific numbers of the character from a text string that starts at that particular position which you will specify. Suppose what I'll do, I'll have equal to, then I'll have mid function. Then after mid function, what I'll do is like I'll select that particular first name, and in that first name I want middle characters, suppose for from the second to fourth. I want second, third and fourth character of each first name. Then what I'll do, I'll enter that particular range after this selection of cell. Then I'll have second, the first starting point, and then I'll have 4 as a ending point, and I'll hit enter. Then it is giving me the values, or it is giving me the middle values of, or middle characters from, which are from like second to fourth, which are like second, third and fourth, and I can have this result for all the remaining entries over here, and in this way I'll get the result. Then the next one is length, which is which gets denoted by len, which will return the number of characters in that text string. So I'll have equal to sign, then length as len, and then I'll select that first name and again enter. So it is showing me as like this first name has 5 characters in that first name, so it will return me the length as 5, and I can have this result for all the remaining text, for the all the remaining data also. Then the next one is upper. It will convert the text to the uppercase. So for this I have function as upper, so I'll have this function. Then I'll select that particular first name, equal, and then close it, equal to. So now it is giving me the result. It is giving me that particular first name in the uppercase, and I can have this result for the rest of the data also. Then the lowercase, it will give me the result. It will give me the all the characters in the lowercase. So I'll have equal to, then lower lower function, and then I'll again select that particular range, or like that for a particular first name, enter. So now it is giving me all the characters in the lower range, sorry, lowercase. Then the next function is proper. So what proper does, it capitalizes the first letter of each word in that text string. So what I'll do over here is like equal to proper, then proper function. I'll select that function, and here I'll select that particular text, close parenthesis, and then enter. So what it is doing here is like it is just capitalizing the first letter, and it is giving me the exact result which I want for the first text or first name. So I can have this result again for the all the values in that particular data sheet, and in this way I'll get the result. The next category which I'll try to cover is lookup and reference functions. So this category mainly includes, and the important functions under this category are sort, filter, unique, vlookup and hlookup. So first we'll go for sort function. So what exactly sort will do? it will sort the values accordingly. So if either in ascending or descending order. Suppose for example right now, as of now, I want to sort all the values of third column only, and I don't want the rest of the values here. Then what I'll do here is like equal to sign, then sort, and I'll select only that particular range of column 3, close, and then hit enter. So now right now what is it doing is like it is just sorting values from the column 3. But what happens here is like it has multiple values along with each first name, last name. So we want to sort all the rows accordingly. So if right now here I want to sort the values, but as but with the values I want to have all this information along with it. So what I'll do is like I'll need to select all the values in that array, and then I need to apply that particular criteria here. So right now what I'll do here is, suppose I'll have this function as sort function. I'll select that function, and in that array section I'll select all the values from that particular data sheet, or from that particular array. And then I'll have comma, and then I need to look for like how do I want to sort it out. So suppose for example right now I want to sort it out according to the first name. So first name is in the second column, so I'll enter value as 2 here, close parenthesis, and okay. So right now it is giving me the result of that sort function as per the first name in ascending order. So what if I want it in descending order? So what I'll do here is like after 2 I'll have comma, and then I'll have minus 1 as a value. So what exactly minus 1 indicates? Minus 1 indicates that sort function will be as per the descending order. So I'll have this minus 1, and then I'll hit enter over here. So now what is it doing? It is sorting the first name but in a descending order, and along with the first name all values are getting sorted out, and it is getting displayed accordingly. The next function in lookup and reference is filter. So what filter will do exactly is like it will filter out the range of data based on particular criteria which you will define. So suppose for example in this particular array, or in this data sheet which I want to filter out all the data where the column 1 values are greater than 8000. So what I'll do here is like I'll have equal to, then I'll select that filter function, then I'll select that particular range which I want to filter it out. And after this particular range what I'll do is like I'll have comma, and then again I'll select column 1 entries, and in this column 1 entries I'll check like if that column 1 entry or column 1 value is greater than 8000, then only I want to filter that data out, and I want to show and display that particular respective data. So I'll have this 8000 value here. I'll close the parenthesis, enter. Now it is showing me the result as like whatever the column 1 values which are like greater than 8000, it is sorting it out and filtering it out, and it is particularly displaying that exact data which we want. The next function which is important is unique. So unique function, it returns a list of unique values in a range or array. So suppose for example in the first name I just want to check only unique first names, or like I don't want duplicates first names. So here what is happening is like Roxy, this first name is getting repeated multiple times. So I don't want multiple entries of the first name, and I just want unique values of the first name. So what I'll do is like I'll have equal to, then unique function, I'll select that function, I'll select that range of first name, and then enter. So what is it doing is like it is just returning me only unique values of the first name, and it will not show the duplicate values. So for example, suppose I want to check first name and last name also. So here we have one name getting repeated here, which is Loxy Lee Better. So it is getting shown for ID 8 also, and ID 18 also. So I don't want that name again and again, I just want a single entry for the same. So what I'll do is like I'll have equal to, then again unique function, And now in that array, I'll select all the values of first name and last name. So I'll select all the values as a range or an array, and then I'll have close parenthesis, and then I'll enter it. So right now it is just giving me unique first name and last name values over here. The next function is Vlookup function. So basically we use this Vlookup when you need to find the things in a table or a range by row. So in the simplest form, I can say like Vlookup is, if this is the function for the Vlookup, then Vlookup is like a lookup value, which is basically nothing but what you want to look up for. Then the table array is like where you want to look it for. Then the column index number is the column number in the range containing the value to return. And the last one is range lookup. So it's basically a return and approximate, either approximate or exact value, which will get indicated by 1 or 0. So right now here, in the simplest, I'll give the simple example here. Suppose I want first name and last name of the particular ID which I'll be entering here. Suppose let's say we have thousands of data over here or in our data sheet, but I just want first name and last name of the particular ID only. So whatever ID I'll be entering in this column, I just need to have first name and last name of that. So suppose for examples, I'll enter 10 over here. So I want this respective first name and last name of ID 10 here using VLOOKUP. So what I'll do is like I'll have this function first, then in the VLOOKUP, what's the lookup value? The lookup value is this ID which is present in the cell I2. Then comma, then the table array. In the table array, I'll select all the values in that array, comma, then the column index number. So first name is in column 2, so we will need to enter column index number as 2, and then comma, and after comma either you need to enter true or false. So true will return approximate match and false will return exact match of that entry. So right now I'll just select false because I want the exact entry for the same. Complete the that particular parenthesis and then hit enter. So what is it giving to me right now? So it is showing like for the ID 10, first name is Megan, and for what for last name. So what I can do is like I'll just copy this column and I'll paste it over here. So what if I when I'll paste it over here, it will give me the last name also. So for ID 10, the first name is Megan and the last name is Fleming. So let's suppose change it to 20. If I'll change the entry to 20, then it will give us respective first name and last name entries over here. So in this way, I have tried to cover these many formulas and functions in Excel which are important for data analysis. So if you like this tutorial, please like and subscribe, which will boost me to cover more important topics for you guys. Thank you so much.